Welcome, everybody. It is fun time again. We have Sydney Sweeney taking us to new lows, Palantir taking us to new highs, AMD, Snap making messes in earnings season. So I am here with my good buddies, JR Romero and Derrick Oldensmith. So boys, how's everybody doing today?
Living the dream.
All right. Okay. So let's jump right into it. So we're going to get to in a little bit. We're going to talk about the best stocks to own for the next 10 years, the worst thing about trading, favorite alcoholic beverages, and then favorite names. So I feel like it's been kind of a grind finding interesting things to talk about in this market. So we're going to not obsess over the current tape so much. And yes, unfortunately, we did lose Sami Abusaad this week. He was taken down by a rogue webcam. So hopefully Sami will be back with us soon. Okay, so earnings season feels like it's the season of haves and have-nots. We're seeing, like the Palantirs going to the moon, and then other stocks like AMD, Snap, SMCI getting absolutely destroyed. So Derrick, last week you were kind of saying that the market kind of felt like it was sort of on edge, like not looking great, but not quite a gigantic short yet. So what's your sense of what's going on with the tape here?
Yeah, so I was saying last week that at the market level, it felt like there was ongoing distribution. We kept gapping up on a few days in a row based on good news, Europe deal, different things every day. But those gap ups were very quickly faded almost every single day. And I remember noting on, I think the day that we were talking, that it was another day where it was like a gap up failure. And if we closed on lows, it's potentially something to take note of. And then it really kicked off on Thursday when we had the big gap up on Meta and Microsoft that tried to save us and then crashed us all the way down. We got follow through on Friday with a pretty bad jobs number. Yesterday, we saw more weakness after a pretty bad ISM number that seems to show some degree of stagflation. Prices are going up, but the economy is starting to slow down a little bit. Yet today, we seem to be getting saved again, and I honestly have no idea what to attribute it to today. But my biggest expectation for most of August is chop. I don't think that the uptrend that we saw in May, June, July is going to be continuing throughout August. I'm also not expecting a massive breakdown like what we saw in March and April, but I do think that Friday's low, that 2-day reaction low, is extremely important. At S&P 6200, SPX 6200, really, really important. If for some reason we were to get below that 6200 at some point relatively soon, you've got a CTA systematic sell trigger sitting just beneath it. Realized volatility would be increasing. You're going to get vol control funds to start to sell, and you could get a feedback cycle of selling. But it's only if you're able to actually break that level. For now, I'm kind of just expecting broader chop here.
Okay, JR, what do you think about this environment?
As a day trader and a swing trader, I still love it. I mean, if you're in the right names, you're going to get paid very handsomely every day. You need one good idea every day to make your day, and a few every week to make your week in terms of swing trading. And this market's just been absolute wellspring of amazing things happening. You've had Tesla with a nice opening range breakout this morning, Palantir taking out day highs and running. You had Apple, going bananas. So I'm just really focusing on the things that are working, focusing on momentum, and really trying to avoid the temptation of trying to figure out this market. I think that's a absolutely futile errand. I mean, I completely agree with everything Derrick just said. I just think it's a very silly way to invest one's time and effort. We have a lot of amazing things happening in the market, left and right. I'm just focusing on the things that are moving. Hashtag, is it effing moving?
Okay, all right. Yeah, and if anybody wants to go to YouTube and search, is it effing moving, you'll find an amazing video from JR yelling at everybody. So in breaking news, Sami Abusaad has joined us from outer space. So Sami, I saw in your video from over the weekend, you were definitely turning cautious on the market. Is that still the case?
Not at all, because we looked like we might break down yesterday, and then it got rejected. So that's confirmation we're still higher. So not at all. So all hedges are off. Tesla, called it long yesterday in the newsletter. So we'll see. As a long-term play, it's an aggressive play. So yeah, no, I like the market higher. Wow, Apple is up 6%. Holy cow. So no, back to bullish on the market. Was cautious, but back to bullish.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we're going to step back a little bit, because I'm going to be honest. In the last couple of weeks, I feel like I've been basically throwing out nonsense questions about the broader market, because just to fill up time, just because there's a lot of news. It just feels like there's not much movement. So I want to pull the lens back. And I know I've asked this question to JR and Sami before, but okay, I'm going to give each of you guys $1 million. You have to put it in a stock, ETF, crypto, or any kind of asset for 10 years.
Tesla.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Why? Okay, all right, Sami. We want to know.
Just gonna gamble. This is the thing. What you're asking is, hey, if you want to gamble, what are you gonna gamble on? I would gamble on something that might be, the next NVIDIA, or might be incredible. And I think Tesla has that in it. It could solve a lot of problems, or it could completely fade away and crash. So if I'm going to gamble, I would bet it on something like Tesla.
Interesting. So Sami just views $1 million as, play money. Let's just play games with it. Okay. Very bold. Okay. JR, how about you?
I think the next decade is going to be all about energy generation. I mean, it's not a particularly impressive idea. They're talking this one to death, but the data center space and energy are going to be key focuses for the market, and they're really underdeveloped still.
Okay, JR, I agree with you, because I would have picked XLU or something related to nuclear for the next 10 years. Derrick, how about you? You got $1 million. You got to leave it in something for 10 years. What would you pick?
Yeah. Also, maybe not the most exciting answer, except I can create a little controversy with Sami. I would do the Mag 7 without Tesla. So the Mag 6, basically, no Tesla in there. Just the thought process on that is, if I'm holding this for a long time and it's $1 million, the Mag 7 stocks, I just think that they have enough money to be able to buy their way into any industry. And that's what we've consistently seen. If they're behind on something, they're just going to spend unlimited money to be able to catch up or buy out the competition or do whatever they need to do to be involved in whatever the next big thing is. I mean, they're probably going to even internally own their own nuclear reactors at some point to feed off of JR's answer. But the one that I don't want is Tesla. The multiple that it trades at for a company that's crash and burn status, I'm out on that. I think Tesla maybe could get saved one day because Elon comes in and merges it with a better company like SpaceX or something like that. But similar to what he did with Solar City. But otherwise, I am out on Tesla, and I'll take the rest of the magnificent stocks.
Mike, was your question one stock?
Yeah, one stock.
There's a Mag 7 ETF. I'll buy that, but I got to go call the guy up and tell him to take Tesla out.
Doesn't work. It doesn't exist.
I guess I'll just do.
You gotta pick one.
I would say Meta. I just can't stand Mark Zuckerberg so much, but
we're gonna have to psychoanalyze Derrick one day.
It's such a cash machine, that Meta. So I guess I'll go with Meta. Or you know what? Screw Mark Zuckerberg. I'm gonna take Microsoft.
Okay. All right. We just discovered Derrick has a second enemy in Mark Zuckerberg. You better watch out, Derrick. Mark has learned how to fight, so you have to be careful with him.
So yeah, I mean, whatever. That's okay. It's just, he's built a business that is an incredible business that's designed to ruin the mental health of children. So that's why I struggle with it a little bit. But Mark Zuckerberg would absolutely beat the crap out of Elon Musk in a fight. I remember that was a thing for a while. There is no doubt in my mind that Zuckerberg would pulverize Elon in a fight.
Okay. All right. Okay. So
But I would take them both at the same time. Both at the same time. Easy, hands down.
Okay. We'll see if we can set that up. I'll send out an email. Okay. All right. I want to move on to
location.
Did you say send me location? I get that reference. Does anybody in the chat get that reference? Okay. All right. Okay. Another fun topic. So a couple of weeks ago, I asked everybody what their favorite thing about trading is, but I want to flip it around now and ask everybody, what is your least favorite thing about trading?
Easy. The constant changes in the market and the fact that, you know, you figure something out, or you're trading something that you really like, and then it disappears a month later. That's like the worst thing about the market, and it's the hardest thing also, because it requires us to be adaptable, which isn't like, you know, it's not fun. I remember the first time I was doing level 2 trading and then the market completely changed, and I had a really good start to the year. I made $84,000 the first 2 months of the year. And that was when we had commissions. And so scalping wasn't as easy as it is today, because I had to pay commission on every single trade. And then I spent the next 10 months, so March through December, losing 40,000. Why? Because the market changed. And that was like in 2011, I think. The market changed, and I thought it was me. I thought I was like, not, you know, I wasn't trading well or whatever. I didn't know that the market actually changes from time to time. And that's, you know, hands down the worst thing about trading, for me at least.
Okay. JR or Derrick, either of you guys have an answer?
Yeah, I can jump in there. So first of all, I love Sami's answer. You know, as someone who has managed other professional traders, in addition to my own trading for over 10 years, I have found that the #1 killer of experienced traders who have had success in the past, different than brand new entry level people, is a market environment changes and they are too stubborn to change with that market environment. They continue to do what worked in the past but no longer works, and then they, you know, go from being a really nice profitable trader to not so much. You know, for me personally, however, one of my biggest issues that I've always had with my trading that I've improved on a lot but still struggle with is being too early. A lot of the times my ideas really prove to be correct, but my execution is too early, and then you're managing a position that's against you, or you're having to stop yourself out once or twice and then re-enter the position when the technicals line up a little bit more with it. So, you know, being early is kind of a mental, I don't know, it's very difficult from a trading psychology perspective, because it's like you see that idea really work in the long run, the trade ends up working, and you took 3 losses before it actually worked, or something like that. So, you know, that's just a really, really tricky situation when you have to deal with that. Oh, and we have a special guest. Sean, come on over. Sean, we have Sean Hendelman here, the owner of T3, coming in as a special guest to say hello.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, Sean.
Everybody say hi to Sean. Sean's our favorite. Okay, can we get Sean to answer a question since he's in here?
Oh, please don't do that, Kamo.
Sean, what is? Okay, what is your? I'll make it easy on you, Sean. Sean, what is your favorite thing about working in the trading industry?
Well, first I'm going to say hi to Sami and JR. It's good to see everybody's face. I haven't spoken to you guys in a long time.
Hey, boss.
The trading space is, I've literally lived the trading space since I was like 12 or 13 years old. The uncertainty is what I love, because you never have like the same day twice. People think, oh, you can figure this same day or patterns. To me personally, the excitement of the markets is that they're always changing and moving, and new things are happening. And there's probably about 100 or 1,000 different inputs that go in that change how the markets move. And it's really exciting to see all those. And by the way, who am I speaking to here? Is it just you 4, or is it more people?
It's a couple hundred people on YouTube and Twitter. So Sean, somebody wants to know, how does one become boss of the top traders. I'm not lying. No, this is a real question. Sean, how do I become the boss, Sean? That's what I want to know.
So you gotta be okay with failing a lot, because the expense of starting something and bringing people in, hiring possibly some wrong people. Now we have all the right people. But in the last 25, 30 years, I would say I've literally flopped on my face massively 3 or 4 times where like my bank account went down to almost zero. It's a high risk situation because you're running, you have to pay rent, you have to pay employees, you have to do other things. So it's very different than the trading world where you have $1, it's not that different because trading is also risky, but it's a calculated risk, but you have to be okay with making mistakes. That's probably the number one thing I would say.
Okay, Sean, we don't want to take up too much of your time, but one final question, Sean, is it okay to eat pineapple on pizza? I need a yes or no, no explanation. I just need a yes or no, please.
I would say yes.
All right. Okay.
Because I've done it before. And listen to these guys. These guys are awesome. Thanks, Kamo.
Thanks, Sean.
All right. Thank you, Sean. Okay. All right. So this is on to what has become the messy part of the show. It's actually what I dread most during the week. So today's fun topic is what is the best alcoholic beverage? And I'll give everybody a minute to gather their thoughts because I'm going to declare that the best alcoholic beverage on earth is a rum and Coke because it gives you alcohol, it gives you energy, it gives you the wonderful taste of Americana that is Coca-Cola. And it's just, history has just proven that it can't be beat. Like all the good things that have happened have involved either rum or Coke.
My God, you've had some bad takes, but this takes the cake, man. Rum and Coke is the best alcoholic drink. What do you like?
What are you, a frat girl?
High school girl?
What? Excuse me.
No offense to any 12-year-old high school girls.
We do have
Oh my God.
there might be 2 or 3 women watching this show.
And I haven't heard a single good reason. I haven't heard a single good reason against my argument, which is basically confirmation that I'm correct.
It tastes like
Anybody have a better answer?
What Josh Leffler over here just said. It tastes like liquid syrup. It's just sugar, gross, and like, dude, come on. I can't with this. Yeah. So, if I'm gonna be drinking, it's gonna tend to be bourbon on the rocks or a solid cold beer, and that's it.
I agree with solid cold beer in the summer, and then in the winter, nothing like red wine. Those are the 2 best, in my opinion. Derrick, you gotta let Mike be himself. Come on. I mean, let the guy be.
That's very fair. We're gonna let him do his rum and Coke with his what is his favorite food, like chicken fingers or something in the corner somewhere. It'll be great.
I'm the only person. You see, I get the sense I'm the only person actually being honest here, letting it all. Everybody's these politically correct answers. Oh, I like a beer, whatever. JR, how about you?
The best drink is the one you have near you when you need it, buddy.
Okay, JR.
Obviously, what's wrong with you people?
Okay, so JR, what
Derrick knows what I'm talking about.
That is a perfect answer. That's phenomenal.
Okay. All right. Moving on. So throw the obvious question out. So what names do you guys like right now? And I guess I'm thinking over the next month or so. Who wants to step up? Who wants to step in the arena?
I like Affirm. I like Affirm a lot. I have a call on it in the newsletter. I also like all the gold miners like B, like KGC, like HMY. All these gold miners I really, really like. And then most of all, I like the earnings plays because they are kicking ass. They are amazing today, at least for sure. So I'm working on the earnings calendar as we speak because we got 463 companies reporting earnings after the close and before the open tomorrow. and I gotta go through that list between now and 3 o'clock to finalize it to, you know, a few symbols, a handful of symbols. But that's what I like the most, is focusing on earnings, and then a couple of the long-term plays would be Affirm, and most of all the gold miners.
Okay, JR, I'll throw it to you next because I know you mentioned AEM last week and it's done fairly well. JR, what do you like here?
Yeah, so for share charts, or are we just spitballing?
We could spitball, we could share charts. We're men. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah. All right, can you guys see my chart there?
I will pull them up right now. Stupid StreamYard changed their interface.
A lot of bases we've been discussing for the past 4 to 6 weeks have exploded higher, despite the market wavering. But today this RNA exploded. One of my traders has been bugging me to take a look at this one for good reason. I don't think this is anywhere near done. This Avidity Biosciences, it broke out today with massive volume. This is unpopular. This is a slow mover, but Shell here has a beautiful right side base. I think this one is getting ready to go. KGC, we brought this one up a couple of weeks ago with a buy zone over 1604. I think this is going to smash $22. I don't think gold is anywhere near done. The XLU we talked about a couple of weeks ago. The ST I'm going to skip. I don't think STX is done. This one needs 3-4 more weeks of basing, but it looks great. Let's see. Oh, Hasbro. I've been watching this one base out. I love it through 78.83. It's it's already a 2-wave corrective out of the accumulation zone. Basing here beautifully. I want a really nice tight base, contraction and volatility, and then I think we get a move to 97.74. OLLI, we already traded this one to target. I think this one's getting ready for another leg through 140.67, 141. The beautiful trending base out of that rounding bottom base. That one looks really, really good. Did CPOE go already? Yeah, CPOE went. A lot of these financials already went. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. Until last week, I had like 34 open positions. And as the market, there were some key metrics in the market I was watching in terms of advances and breadth, and I saw that we're making fewer and fewer new highs across the NYSE and the NASDAQ, and that became a real concern as I saw, oscillators diverge, volumes decrease, and, just playbook time to take profits and wait for a new base to form. And I think that's kind of where we are in the market. I keep warning my traders, never short a dull market, never short an uptrending market. And that's been, I think, good advice. If you look at the SPX here, I'll go to a 15-minute chart. Like this market has been really relatively easy to read. So, this was your blow off top here, 2-wave corrective. They defended the 6,200 level, which is super important, as Derrick mentioned. We extrapolated the declining line here with a C pivot, and then just a super strong amount of transacted volume at 6,300. I see the bulls defending this level. We're at top of the value area here at 63.44, and if they get it back over 63.63 and form a new base with price acceptance over this level, they're going to go right back to this upper trend line at 64.20. So just be careful shorting this market, I guess is what I'm going to say. Doesn't mean buying breakouts is the easiest thing right now, right? But you have to let the market consolidate and bring in new longs.
Okay.
In terms of swing trades, I guess.
Okay. Thank you, JR. And I just want to give a special shout out to our favorite fan, FBI Security, who wants Derrick to know he's here. Okay, Derrick, we'll close it out with you. What do you like here, or what do you hate? Whatever.
Sure. So I already mentioned in the beginning that I'm broadly expecting chop in this market now for August. I'm really not expecting a resumption of the uptrend that we had seen for the last few months. And I actually think that chop gives way to the downside at a certain point. The timing on that, I'm not sure, but Just to reiterate it for the fourth time, 6,200 in the S&P is extremely, extremely important. While we're holding above that, I'm expecting more chop. If we're able to break below that at some point in August or even September, then I think we could go into a feedback cycle of selling, and you have an actual reversal of trend. I thought that today, with AMD's disappointment yesterday, or the reaction to AMD and SMCI to the downside, that we might lose a little bit of the AI trade. And the AI trade has been the thing that has propped this market up. The market is telling me that I couldn't have been more wrong. AMD is down 7% right now. It did exactly what I expected it to do. I did pretty well with that name, yet the Qs are up a full percentage point as other names like Tesla and Apple have just completely taken over. So given that this market is telling me chop, I got to circle back to what Sami was saying, and I got to circle back to what JR always is saying, is focus on what's moving and focus on those shorter term opportunities. I think Sami and I approach earnings names a little bit differently, but that's where the movement is for sure. So, you know, whether it's AMD or SMCI, or I know Apple's not news, is not earnings today, but it's news. There is a lot of opportunity to make money day trading individual stocks that are moving while we wait for a little bit more clarity from the bigger picture of this market. But I am not bullish as I was in July.
Okay, thank you, Derrick. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining us. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, please like, comment, all that stuff. All that helps us out. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week.